Yo, this your boy JT Thomas the third man, checking in with y'all on Bulletin Board Material. It's me and the boy one Leroy or Lee Boy Henley, and we coming to y'all live in effect, man. Welcome to the show.
Man, what's going on, JT?
Yeah, and today, man, we just covering a few different things. Anything from high school sports to college sports. With me being heavily involved in the game, still helping out at old Ely High School, we doing pretty well. We got our state game coming up. We're gonna talk a little bit about that, a little bit about college football, the college football playoff, and a host of other things. For now, I like to dive a little bit into what this platform will be like over the next few weeks, months, however long we take this thing, we're just gonna take it one show at a time, right? But at the end of the day, it's a grab bag of what we love the most, football, of course. A little lifestyle and culture and everything in between. At the end of the day, we want this to be educational for everyone who watch, but at the end of the day, entertaining because that's what we here for. So, I'll kick it over to you, Leroy, man. The first topic that we got on our agenda is the college football playoff. It starts in December. What you think about that, bro?
Oh man, I'm very excited to see. Honestly, some of these teams that's gone unnoticed for the past few years. Like not to be biased, but we South Florida boys. So the UM going undefeated so far is a big topic right now. You feel me? So I feel like they are the team to beat when it comes to the playoffs. Just off of not only brute force and talent at the quarterback position, the receiver position, as Royal has pretty much, uh, had pretty much broke all of the receiver records at UM, which is crazy because you got people like Michael Irvin, just to name one great that he's already outpaced. And so then you got the quarterback Cam Ward in the battle for the Heisman. But then also the defense is doing their thing with a freshman cornerback. You know what I mean? And so it pretty much seemed like the UM swag because we did coin South Florida did coin that word, the swag. You feel me? So it seems like the UM swag is back now that the ban has been lifted for the playoffs and all of the things that they got caught doing down there. And so I really feel like UM is the team to beat. Although I am a LSU fan at heart, but just being truth and unbiased, man, I feel like UM is the team going into the playoffs.
Yeah, and and for me, is oddly enough, a good friend of mine, Coach Steve Fields. He's the executive director there in Miami,
Mm.
and I'd say just him alone, right? He rolled out the red carpet for me back in the spring at UM, and I think that's an example of the kind of culture that they're establishing down there at UM,
Uh-huh.
right? To where not only is it hospitable and paying homage to legacy, they're also playing ball at a high level, right? You touched on it, right?
Yep.
Cam Ward, if you look at his numbers, right, he's outpacing the last three Heisman winners, right? Other things
Right.
like
Right.
breaking records for other receivers like Restrepo, shout out
Purple.
Broward
There we go.
County,
Yeah.
shout out Broward County, Deerfield Beach, the wrong high school, but it's still Broward County at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, the defense, I'm like you. 29 sticks out to me as a kid. Young kid out there getting
Freshman.
meaningful playing time. Yeah, meaningful
Yep.
playing time, and you definitely don't want to throw to his side at the end of the day. So, and
Right.
that's just one team that we're talking about, right?
Right. Right. Precisely.
I think the bigger emphasis is like December is about to be changed forever,
Yeah.
right? So I was in school when our basketball team went to the Final Four.
Uh huh.
And a friend of mine told me, JT, our trip to the Final Four was like 2 or 3 BCS bowl games on the way there,
Right.
right? So I can imagine what this college football playoff series is about to be like,
Uh huh.
and what this playoff is going to do for the college game in general. And that
Precisely.
kind of leads us to our next topic, bro.
Uh huh.
We're talking a little bit about recruiting battles and the NIL influence,
Uh huh.
right? And that's in high school and in college. What you think about NIL in general?
It's definitely a perfect thing for and swinging back to us being from South Florida, man. All the things and that we get into trying to make the ends meet even though we are young in high school, but seeing your mom struggle, seeing your dad struggle, seeing them all doing the most that they can to make sure that you get to the next level, so that you can turn around and finally take care of them per se. For Leroy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So taking care of the things that they to for you to be able to take care of them at the end of the day. And so, with that being said, I feel as if there would be the NIL is perfect for us for the younger kids in the sense where they don't have to look towards the street. They don't have to look towards the streets or extra hustles or anything like that to try to make their ends meet or to make the money or to feed the family per se. Because growing up, I remember being looked at as a man of the house per se, you know, even though I'm a young child. So having to choose between play sports or get a job, things of that nature. If you are a kid like, say, let's take Ely quarterback right now. Oh, like a kid like that deserve an NIL deal to deserve to be able to, you know, assist his mom with gas, traveling to and from work, or even sitting his mom down, so that she can focus in on younger siblings and things of that nature. So the NIL is perfect for the younger players, but then there's a flip side to that. So um, there, as I did say, you know, the hustle and bustle of trying to make ends meet. If a kid gets financial quote unquote security, what they see as financial security, a little too early without the mindset, they could crash out. Look at a kid like Mikey Williams. I was in San Diego when that kid was one of the top players in the nation, and look what ended up happening to him. He shooting out at his own mansion. He's a millionaire. Uh, deal from $1 million deal from Puma, things of that nature. He was already committed to Memphis. He had to go back. He had to go to jail. All of these things, and now he's at UCF, and he's hurt at the moment. So, like, money at an early age is kind of good for the right. I feel like the right mindset person, but too early could kind of be detrimental.
Yeah, it puts, downward pressure on the athletes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it gives them leverage, but it makes the hurdle from one stage to the next a little bit higher, from high
Mm-hmm.
school to college.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we kind of went from 0 to 100,
Real
right?
quick.
Or to a million in this
Mm-hmm.
case,
Literally,
right?
literally.
To where, if we had rolled this thing out in a way that was a little bit more manageable, I think it could have been beneficial for all parties,
Mm-hmm. And
right?
then, oh my bad, not to
No,
cut you now.
it's all good. It's all good.
Okay, so
Um, go. I'm listening to you, bro.
okay, I was just gonna mention about, yeah, like you said, the 0 to 100, the growth and the maturity levels that you kind of skip over when you get that big check. Like, you didn't go through the struggles, the hot noodles and peanut butter and jelly to know how to maintain when you do finally get that check. You know what I'm saying? You going straight to a million. Now these kids out here in Hellcats and foreign cars, spending up all the money, and then now the institution of the professions or the people that are cutting these checks are kind of getting an earlier, I want to say, not to disrespect any of the corporations, but they're getting an earlier crash out instead of waiting on a Jamarcus Russell all the way at the top level to blow his money. You're getting him at 18, 19, and you're getting all his money and all the value out of him right then.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely puts the kids in an interesting position. They got to make decisions a lot earlier. They're
Mm-hmm.
jockeying to be in the best high school before even the best college.
Yes, sir.
And then from there, they're having to answer the question of, hey, do I go to a smaller school and take more money, or do
Mm-hmm.
I go to a bigger school and take less?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, then they become young professionals, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they have the luxury that comes with that, but also the responsibility of having to control those things too. It's
Precisely.
one thing to navigate how you're gonna spend it. Is another thing
Mm-hmm.
to navigate, you know, putting
How to
away
keep it and how to keep it
putting
coming.
away the, putting away the tax implications on whatever you
Uh,
receive. You know,
yeah.
imagine you spending, that whole 100,000 and not keeping that 2025 to pay
Uh-huh.
Uncle Sam. So I
Right.
just hope that the kids are educated a little sooner, and that's kind of led me to do some of the things I've had a chance to do for kids who are on that path. At the
Uh-huh.
end of the day, man, you just want to create an opportunity for the kids to have a fighting chance,
Correct.
right? For them to be aware and informed before the time comes to actually make a decision.
For
So
sure.
hopefully this turns out to be good pressure that's being put on the football environment.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, man, let me take a little quick second, for one to ask y'all to subscribe to the YouTube, True Sports Media YouTube.
For
We want to
sure.
give a huge thank you and shout out to Basement Sports Network for producing this thing for us.
For
And
sure.
we're open for business when it comes to advertising for the foreseeable future. And with that being said, let's get back to regularly scheduled programming. Um, Leroy, we're gonna talk a little
Yep.
bit about the impact of the transfer portal, bro.
Oh man. Man.
Yeah, we can start with this, right?
Uh-huh.
How do you feel about kids transferring mid-season?
I personally feel like it's a cop out. You know what I mean? I remember I took the JUCO route, and so I remember when it was a time where if you transfer, you got to sit out. And you got to grind, learn the system. You red shirting, you know what I mean? But then now it's like as soon as you transfer, you can get straight in. You can leave the situation that literally you grind for your whole life. They gave you that D1 scholarship that you wanted, and now you're not getting the playing time, and now you're not getting the recognition or stats that you thought that you deserved. And instead of grinding up just like the NIL deals, instead of grinding up, you say, you know what, I'm gonna take an easier route. I'm gonna go to a school that's calling, and it may not. I'm leaving Bama to go to Tulsa, and then now I go to Tulsa. I may get an NIL deal. I may get on the field right away. But now I'm down in the polls because I got recruited by a number 1 school, and now I'm at a. I don't want to disrespect Tulsa. You feel me? But now I'm at a school that's not as prestigious, so the recruits for the NFL are not really, not too hard going down there, especially if you're not leading the country in interceptions, you're not leading the country in tackles, you're not leading the country in anything, and Tulsa is not leading the country in anything. So why would I look in Tulsa? When you was in Alabama, you might have been down on the bench, but you was on kickoff and you was averaging 4 or 5 tackles. So you still got that visibility. But no, you feel like you should be the number 1 cornerback. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if UM's cornerback, the freshman, decided to just transfer because Bama wanted him or something. Now UM use a plug. They lose a plug, somebody who's actually an impact player on their defense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I can share a story with you from the high school level. Once again, just being at the games that I can be out at Ely High School,
Uh-huh.
man, those hugs get real long after the game.
Yep.
Like when the coaches shaking hands for the
Yeah.
kids who stand out,
Uh-huh.
they giving them a nice long
Nice.
hug. Boy,
Yeah.
good game, boy. Good, come here.
Right.
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 And then at the college level, man, I remember being back at West Virginia, and we had the
Mhm.
great Pat White, right?
Right, right.
Five,
Pat White, man.
Sugar Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, undefeated, in bowl games, right? One of our best players ever, right? But who was behind him was a really a first round draft pick, during that time. My buddy Jared Brown was backing him up, and if it was that day and age, not there's no way Jared stays at West Virginia, for as long as he did. He'd have
Yeah.
been gone his sophomore year and probably beat us in
Uh-huh.
the national championship,
Wow.
right? So yeah, man, it's just interesting now. The players have all the power in the world, bro, and I'm
Uh-huh.
happy for them. I'm
For
happy
sure.
for them, but I hope there's some some context behind the decisions that they're making when they're going from one school to the next, because it's not a good look when
At all.
you go to 3 4 different high schools during your high school career. Just
For
I
sure.
remember it being the other way around, right? You might be at one high school and be like I did and have 4 different head coaches while you was there. So
Right.
and it's all good, but it's one of those things where we are seeing a tremendous impact, in college and high school football from that transfer portal.
Correct.
Yeah. So that takes us to our next topic, bro. Um, we're just talking a little bit about some of the younger kids, man. The high school juniors, and like, for example, we had Malachi Tony, right,
Uh huh.
from uh from American Heritage down in Plantation.
Uh huh.
So he reclassified into this year's
Yeah. Yeah.
recruiting class
Yeah.
as a junior, right? So he's
Yeah.
graduating as a junior. What you think about the kids being so raw that they got to leave school early? You know what I mean?
Um. Man, I think it's cool to get recognized. Like, man, you're so good that we can bring you up to the next level. Pretty much expedite your education process so that you can get the required credentials to move up. But that's another thing about the experience, the ride, the grind. You are literally omitting that. You know what I'm saying? Like now, just like how the NBA, they don't let you go out of high school anymore, but they let you go within a year of college. Then the NFL lets you go 2 or 3 years in. You know what I'm saying? You're eligible for the draft. It's just the grind. I feel like one thing I pride myself on is putting my feet and my nails into the dirt. You feel me? Like the effort, the grind, the scars, the battles that you go through on that ride, so that when you do reach that peak, you're prepared. You know what I'm saying? You're pretty much equipped. You know what I'm saying? So it's nice. You know what I'm saying? Especially for a guy like Malachi Tone. He's undeniable. But man, if you don't beef up within that time frame of you transferring, bro, you're gonna go across that middle and it's gonna knock you loose. Because he's not that big. He's fast,
Yeah,
yes. You know what I mean? But hey man, what if you throwing that Cam throw he didn't he want to recruit go to commit to the U? Imagine
yeah,
you catching the slant, the U liable to go to the natty, man. You catching the slant in the middle against Bama, man, and you lighting the ass, bro. Come on. You're gonna be done. Your career over with. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And
yeah.
we still
I
have plenty
definitely,
of
I
time.
definitely get what you mean. Like, the same way they have weight classes in boxing
Mm-hmm.
is the reason why they make you, wait a little longer before you get out there as
Before
a
you get
grown
out there,
man.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So they do got to be cautious with that, and that kind of leads us into another topic that we have here. We flying a little bit, man. Because this is something that we want to continue to be able to dive into deeper, man. But we want to cover enough topics for y'all to understand the value of us being here with y'all today. And
Exactly.
we've had a chance to share different experiences, different walks of life, different paths, but they all are relevant, man. To at the end of the day, making sure that we communicate something on this platform form that make the youth, our peers, a little bit better, man.
For
So,
sure.
our next topic, man, we got health and safety initiatives in high school football, and this one a little bit more near and dear to me. It's weirdly enough, I'm back out at the school again, but my
Mm-hmm.
my first stint with the school was actually maybe 2 or 3 years after me being done.
Uh-huh.
And one of our players, were in an incident on the field where they were paralyzed, right?
Right, right.
So that's on the field safety, right?
Uh-huh.
But I've also been to football games this year,
Uh-huh.
and had to be worried about my life and others,
Yeah.
when it comes to safety off the field. I remember a day when, like, the safest place you can be was the park.
Park. Literally. Literally.
The safest place you could have been was on, at the park on somebody's football team.
Yeah.
With a coach who was there to protect you and was going to watch you like you was his own son. And not that we don't,
Right.
but I mean, you done been there, Leroy. How
Yep.
much drama? How much drama do our kids have to deal with off the field during football games?
Man, listen, it's so much drama to where kids are willing to get off of the sideline and join into whatever is going on. You know what I mean? Now, from fights breaking out on one side of the field to a shootout breaking out on the other side of the field, where actually all the police are. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, this day and age has completely changed. The music has changed. everything has changed, and the kids are getting more access to things that we necessarily didn't have the access to um, as kids. So they have to deal with a lot, man, coming from these inner cities, bringing that to these schools. And then with the transfer portal, you got people in your opposing neighborhood, opposing gangs, joining you on the football field. So yeah, we might be family between gridiron, but you know, if my dog who's affiliated with me is on the side watching my game or whatever, and he break out into something that got something to do with your gang or your hood, we divided out off rip. And
Yeah,
imagine
it
that being a
definitely
quarterback and a receiver who are ops
it definitely put the kids in a tough situation. The
for
kids is
sure.
one thing too, but then the fans, the
The fans.
families, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? This is no place for
Mm-hmm.
violence to be that close to anything organized. That way we know we can have people and kids of all ages. We
Right.
got our babies, but then we got our older folks. We got our my grandma could have been at that game. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Facts.
So yeah, man, I hope that once again, when we're on a platform like this and we communicate this message to people in a way that they can understand that shit foolishness, I
Mm-hmm.
think that that's what people need to hear more of.
For
You know
sure.
what I'm saying? And less like amping it on. Oh man, nah, man, we ain't on
Mm-hmm.
that.
Right.
Especially not around our babies, especially
Hey,
not around our family.
exactly.
Like, yeah, it's just, yeah, it'll be definitely in a different day and age. At the end of the
Uh-huh.
day, I ain't just blaming it on the young people because at the end of the day, they our babies and we raising them.
Yep.
They learned it from us. But yeah, man, we just got to do better. We just
For
got to
sure.
do better because then you drive away good people. Good people. You
Uh-huh.
drive away, good talent.
Uh-huh.
I would say this, like coaches. Like, I mean, you got your college coaches don't want to be in danger when they come to your games.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, just for everybody own best interest, man. Like we got to know when we literally shooting ourselves in the foot,
In the
right?
foot.
Right.
Yep.
But it's one of them things where we can we can't help our kids win the ball game a whole lot,
Uh-huh.
but we can stop them from winning. We can hurt them from when we
From
can
winning.
hurt them from being seen. Like yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we might win the game, off a technicality, but now a kid didn't get a chance to be seen in the fourth quarter that would have been seen. You
Precisely.
know what I mean? So
Exactly.
yeah, it's a trickle down. I just hope everybody realize that and that we can continue to be on the kind of positivity that we need to prosper. Especially for our program.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So once again, man, I just want to start real quick to shout out Buffalo Wild Wings for throwing the sponsor at us, man. We really appreciated the meal.
For sure.
And once again, man, Basement Sports Network for producing this thing for us. Shout out to my man Roy Shepard. We couldn't have done it without him.
Uh-huh.
In the meantime, man, we're probably gonna cover, two or three more topics, man, just to give y'all a feel for what we're gonna be on, and then we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna wrap it up at the 30-minute mark. Um, so what we're talking about now is something that that's near and dear to us, right? The emergence of football streaming and social media coverage. You got something you want to add to that, bro?
Yeah, for sure. I like I like that we social media has come as far as it has. Um, and then streaming services. I know we used to have to wait to after the game to get our coverage of the football game to see the stats to put together that highlight so that our people can see what we did today. But now we got people out there that are actually or platforms that are actually out there streaming the games. Not only high school platforms, actual through the Florida High School Sports Association, but also smaller platforms that are building up to be able to broadcast to keep people in the loop, such as ourselves. You know what I mean? And as we get on the road to reaching that point where we can cover more, um, I just like the fact that we are able to start somewhere, and then we have the knowledge and the will to even learn anything that we don't know, and then we have the assistance of other platforms to help us get to that mark. Now, as far as the kids, man, that helps them loop in those NIL deals. That help them loop in those transfer opportunities. So that's the good side of all of that being available to them. Once us and other platforms are, doing their due diligence with putting these kids to the forefront, I feel like it'd be much easier for smaller cities and inner cities to actually get those opportunities and notoriety.
Yeah, and we volunteered our time, money, expertise, energy, to
Hmm.
the program this year as a network, right, bro? And we got a chance to see firsthand the power
Yeah.
of the eye, right? To
Yeah.
where we were literally watching the kids gear up for the games and
Hmm.
giving us energy and feedback from the
Yeah.
side, to where
Hmm.
it was a part of them having success on the field
Yeah.
as well too. You
Exactly.
know, we were able to connect them all and keep them motivated with
Yeah.
inspirational quotes
Yeah.
and pictures. All
Hmm.
the different things that a major college program would get on the daily. We
Right.
wanted to make sure that our football program at least owned and did a good job of branding itself well in the community and to everyone else, to all of our stakeholders, because it goes beyond our community. So yeah, we saw firsthand this year, like what social media can do for our kids, and then that's on the field. You touched on a little bit of what it can do off the field. Obviously, there's
Yeah.
opportunities, whether it's
Hmm.
ad revenue or sponsorships and deals,
Hmm.
and what it allows the kids to do is to have some leverage outside of just playing the game.
Precisely.
God forbid, they don't make it. They always have a career and really real estate, digital real estate out here working
Right.
for them if things don't work out.
And
So
turn out.
yeah, we
Yeah.
wanted to try to do a good job of explaining that and showing them a good example of that this year
Hmm.
through
Hmm.
Blanche Ely Football at Blanche Ely Football IG.
Yeah.
That's where you can see some of the work we were able to do. And yo, we kicked it off with that crazy hype video to start the year, right? I
Yeah.
mean, the dedication to Naughty Boo, Nava
Hmm.
bringing this donk out for us. Like from the
Hmm.
creative direction of that to the live game sports coverage that the kids couldn't get enough of during the year. And we
Right.
want to close out the year strong too, man. We're gonna be gearing up for our first playoff game here at Ely as well too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Um, so and now, man, what we're gonna do is take a second here, man. We're gonna take some questions from the audience, right? We'll answer some of them here for y'all today, and then we'll follow up with some of those questions for y'all in the next episode. Once again, follow us at Crew Sports Media on YouTube and be a part of our journey, man. We want to be able to bring y'all content like this on a weekly, monthly basis, more consistently, and just continue to support us. Like I said, like, share, and subscribe to our channel and
Hmm.
look forward to more content just like this. What you think, Leroy?
Yeah, man. Just shoot. I appreciate all of this opportunity that we got to even not only build our own brand, but also uh, inspire. And it's selfless. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with taking out an hour of your day and kind of giving back. You know what I'm saying? I know coaches like Coach Nate. You know what I'm saying? That inspired. You know what I'm saying? To give back. Normally a lot of coaches got how they nose in the clouds. You feel me? But for people that's on the ground that has been through the struggle, that can kind of give you a personal insight of what the grind may take. Someone as I won't say lowly as me, but I went to junior college. I had D1 offers that fell through due to my choices in life. So I can give you that side of the coin. But then we got JT here who can give you the flip side of the coin, the success, the big D1 schools, the big recruiting process, the actual NFL, and the actual leaving teams going to other teams, leaving one city going to another city. You know what I'm saying? And actually having to deal with that, as well as bring that back home to your personal space. You know what I'm saying? And still have to be you're superhuman during the day when you're on TV, but then you are actual human down on earth when you take off that gear. So that transition between the lines and off the lines, and even on the hardwood, you know what I mean? Uh, yeah, man. So this is just a great opportunity, great platform for people to get insight and get more of a closer connection and understanding what the future may hold for them, and different alternatives like junior college or actually not actually going anywhere at all, and then being able to deal with that, being able to be okay with not reaching the highest level, or being able to get to that highest level because you gleaned from the information and avoided those stumbling blocks.
Yeah, yeah. So I think it's gonna be dope to be able to share our life and stories, and I think we're a good example of what happens even after you're done playing the game.
Yes,
I
sir.
think we're both successful in our own right, you as an
Yes, sir.
entertainer and me as a business professional, and
Yes,
I
sir.
think that counts for a lot as well too.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, outside of covering all the rivalry and the back and forth between the kids, the
Uh huh.
teams, we definitely want to be able to shed some realness to to this platform as
Precisely.
well too.
Precisely.
Yeah. So that's it for our first episode, man. I hope y'all enjoy our pilot. Once
Sir.
again, you can catch us at Crew Sports Media, and we look forward to showcasing this opportunity a little bit more to y'all. All right.
Always, always. Y'all stay ready, man.
Stay ready.